Hey everyone, for those of you who have been catching me on all of my lives, welcome. I'm back again. And for those of you who've been catching the replay, I'm back again. So today is the third recording that I'm doing, but I am, as I've shared before, these are being added to my email sequence. So if you're actually catching this from the email sequence, I'm welcoming you into our space, and I'm really glad that you are here. And so today we're going to be talking about, and I forgot to turn off my phone. So today we are talking about introduction to mindfulness. And so and we've been talking a lot. So again, if you guys have been following, if you guys have been part of these conversations, and typically I don't record as much all up at the same time, but I just figured that it would be good for it to be out on my website, or not my website, but my YouTube channel and LinkedIn and Facebook, so that, because I know that when I'm searching for things, it's so nice to have things pop up. So I just figured if I was going to be doing it anyway, then I might as well get that part out there. So, and I no longer have Clark today. So for those of you who were on last night with me and this morning and this afternoon, Clark wasn't with me this afternoon. He was downstairs, but yeah, so I don't have him squawking in the background, which not that I mind at all. I just wasn't sure how loud that he was during the during the squawk time. So I am going to talk a little bit about what it is that's going on. So we're going to explore mindfulness, and we're going to discuss its benefits and practice a few simple techniques that you can incorporate into your daily life. So by the end of the session, you'll have a basic understanding of mindfulness, know the benefits and practicing it, the benefits of practicing it, and have experienced a couple of mindfulness exercises firsthand. So we're going to start with a brief overview of mindfulness, discuss its benefits, and engage in 2 guided mindfulness exercises, then discuss how you can incorporate mindfulness into your everyday life. So for those of you who are new to mindfulness, most of the people who I work with, it's not new. This is something that you have been practicing for some time along with me. And so I was just looking at the date the other day, and I've been doing this for the last, it'll be 9 years in July. Like, can you believe that it's already been that long? And so for those of you who've been following me or working with me for this length of time, you know, and you're familiar with these, apparently I don't know how to speak. You are familiar with these practices. So mindfulness is the practice of paying attention to the present moment with openness, curiosity, and without judgment. It's about being fully aware of what you are experiencing right now, rather than being caught up in thoughts about the past or future. So mindfulness has its roots in ancient Buddhist meditation practices, particularly in the vipassana, which means insight. And it was brought to the secular world largely by John Kabat-Zinn in the late 20th century through mindfulness-based stress reduction program. And so that was how I was introduced to mindfulness practices while I was working mental health and addictions. And so I had received some training on the mindfulness-based stress reduction. And so as I was working with clients and sharing how that part of things worked, I was also learning how to do this. So as part of my anxiety and trauma response, I had a really hard time with getting into mindful, like not just mindfulness, but just getting into meditation in itself. And so the mindfulness allowed me to be able to be in meditation a lot easier than it was prior to me learning how to be able to be in that mindfulness state. And so the core principles of mindfulness include present moment, non-judgment, acceptance, curiosity, and compassion. And so these principles guide us in observing our experiences as they are without trying to change or judge them. And so, if you were on with me this morning, it was the or was it this afternoon? Now I don't even remember, but one of the times today. And so we were doing one of the meditations, and like sitting still was not something that I was able to do easily. So with mindfulness, I am just aware of like my leg moving. It's not that. So then I bring my space into like the fact that my leg is moving. And so and it, because there is no right and wrong. So like mindfulness or meditation doesn't mean you have to be perfectly still. It can. It's really helpful if you can actually stay in a one space. But if you can't, then there's nothing wrong with shifting and doing whatever it is that you need to be doing as well. And as you continue to practice, it gets easier and easier and easier. So that's something else to remember as well. So mindfulness has a lot of really great benefits. And so, so we're going to talk about 3 benefits of mindfulness. So there's mental health benefits. So research shows that mindfulness can significantly reduce stress and anxiety, improve mood, and enhance cognitive functions like attention and memory. Physical health benefits. So, mindfulness can help manage chronic pain, improve immune function, and lower blood pressure by promoting relaxation and reducing stress. And the emotional and relational benefits. Mindfulness fosters greater empathy and compassion, leading to better relationships. It also helps to build emotional resilience, enabling us to cope with difficult emotions and situations. So, they have, when you can actually get into that mindful state and learn how to be able to practice mindfulness, it really does make a huge difference. So we're going to do some mindful meditation practices. So there's going to be 2 meditation practices that we're going to do. One is breath awareness. And so we're going to take about 7 minutes to do this particular one. And then body scan exercise is going to take us about 8 minutes. So, so just get comfortable wherever it is that you are. So if you're catching this replay, just be present. So just, and like I said, if you can't stay in the space of just being still, just sit with it. And if your mind wanders, just allow yourself to be able to come back to it. Okay. So like there's no right way of doing this, and there's no wrong way of doing this. So we're going to get started. So let's begin with a simple breath awareness exercise. So please find a comfortable seated position. Close your eyes if you feel comfortable, and take a few deep breaths. The purpose of the 3 deep breaths is just allows us to be able to just get into this present moment. So now what we're going to do is we're going to bring our attention to our natural rhythm of our breathing. So just notice your breath. Notice the sensation of the breath entering and leaving your nostrils. And if you're breathing in through your nose and out through your mouth, feel that sensation. Because again, there's no right or wrong way of doing breath awareness. So notice the rise and fall of your chest or abdomen. And if your mind wanders, just gently bring it back to the breath without judgment. So just observe your breath with curiosity and acceptance. So we're going to continue for another 3 minutes. We're 4 minutes into the 7 minutes. And it really doesn't feel that long. Unless, of course, you're just getting started and this is new for you. And that's okay. And breath awareness doesn't have to be this long. It can be a minute. It's just the opportunity to be able to just slow things down. Again, if your mind wanders, just bring it back. Just bring it back to your breath and just be aware of the inhalation and the exhalation of your breath, or the rise and fall of your chest or abdomen. We're 6 minutes in. We have 1 minute to go. There you go. So you've just done 7 minutes of breath awareness. And like I said, so you may want to start a little less than that, but it really isn't as difficult as it sometimes seems, right? So just being able to just slow things down and just allowing yourself to just be in this present moment and just focus on the breath and that rise and fall of our chest, or the inhalation and exhalation. And so if you were actually watching, for anybody who is catching this on video, is that the way that I had my hands positioned allowed me to actually feel the sensation going from, so it was still my breath, but focusing on with the inhalation, I could actually feel the air coming up at the tip of my fingers. But then when I was exhaling, I can actually feel the air coming down my hands, right? So it wasn't any particular reason why I did that. It was just happened to be what it is that I was doing. So next we're going to do a body scan. So we're going to, and this is another really good awareness technique. So you can lie down or you can sit comfortably, and you're going to close your eyes and you're going to take a few deep breaths. So again, you're going to do the same thing. So just whichever position, if you need to reposition, if you need to sit, stand, whatever it is that you need to do, just get comfortable and just focus on your breath and taking those few deep breaths. You may not need as many deep breaths because we just finished doing the breath awareness, but if you do, then take those. And what I want you to do is I want you to bring your awareness to your toes. So we're going to go up to each body part. So we're going to start with our toes. So just notice our toes. Then I want you to just notice your whole feet, whole of the foot of both feet. And then notice your ankles. And notice your calves and your shins. So just notice your shins and your calves at the same time. And continue to breathe. Just continue to just take those regular breaths. If you've just gone for a walk or run, you may notice a little more tension. Notice your knees. And notice your thighs, front of your thighs and the back of your thighs. So notice your hips. And maybe with your hips, you're also noticing your pelvis. It could be simply your hips. And if all you were noticing were it's your hips, so now I want you to focus on your pelvis. Continuing to breathe. Noticing your lower abdomen and possibly your lower back. And if you're only noticing one, I want you to notice both sides. If you're noticing any tension in any of those body parts that we've talked about so far, I want you to just take a breath in to that particular body part. Notice your upper abdomen and your upper back or mid back. Notice your upper chest and your upper back. And just continue to breathe in. Moving into those shoulders and your arms, your elbows, your hands, your wrists. Just take your time going in and noticing each body part. Same way that we were doing in the lower body. Making your way into your neck, into your head. Breathing into those spaces. Top of your head. And this is as simple as a body scan can be, right? So it's just breathing, just being able to bring awareness and bringing into that space. So I am so relaxed that I can actually go to sleep. But it's taken me a while to be able to get into that frame of mind. It's taken me a long time for me to be able to get into that. And so so just take your time. Be patient with yourself if you're not quite there. Just take it shorter times, right? It doesn't have to be perfect. It doesn't have to be 10 minutes. It doesn't have to be 5 minutes. It can just simply be bringing your awareness. So other ways that you can actually bring in mindfulness into your daily life is so practical integration is mindfulness isn't about just sitting quietly and meditating, which we just talked about. It's about bringing present moment awareness to all aspects of our lives. And so for people who have difficulty closing their eyes during mindfulness is light a candle, right? So just take a candle and light it and just have it burn in front of you, right? So just watch the flickering of the light. You don't have to it doesn't have to be anything fancy, right? So it can be something as simple as that. Mindful eating. So when you eat, pay attention to the taste, to the texture, and the smell of your food. And notice the sensations of chewing and swallowing. So where is it going down, right? So is it going down? Like notice how it's going down and where exactly that it's going down. And mindful walking, right? So just going for a walk and just feeling the ground under your feet. Notice the movement of your body. Be aware of your surroundings. So just notice. Do you hear sounds? Do you see things? Is it bright and cheery? Can you hear the water if you're walking in the rain? Can you hear the swoosh, 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 or the cars going by and hearing that? So again, it's just being in that present moment as you're walking. Mindful moments. So take a few deep breaths before starting a new task or fully focus on routine activities like washing dishes or brushing your teeth. So even when I said, okay, let's just take a few deep breaths as we're going into that, that is being having that mindful moment, right? So just taking a few deep breaths of just being, okay, here I am. So these are the things that we've covered in the basics of mindfulness. So we've discussed its benefits. We've practiced 2 mindfulness exercises, and I encourage you to continue to explore mindfulness and practice it daily. And like I said, it may not happen tomorrow, right? So there's some really good resources that can support your practice. So mindfulness apps like Headspace and Calm, books such as John Kabat-Zinn's Wherever You Go. Wherever you go, there you are, and that's one of his books. And local or online mindfulness courses or workshops. And so continuing in with some of the things that I do, you're definitely welcome to do that. And if you're not already in the Timeless Transformation Circle, I invite you to join our tribe. And so we have different topics and conversations, and I invite you to join these conversations. So thanks for listening. Thanks for being part of it. And I hope that you find mindfulness a valuable tool in your life. So it's one of those tools in our toolbox that we can pull back out. And if it's been in our toolbox before and we haven't really been using it, then maybe it's time to pull it out and start brushing it off. So that's what I have for you today. And thanks for joining. And I'm looking forward to chatting some more. And talk soon, everybody. Bye for now.